It literally couldn't have gone better on paper. Alex Pereira just saved the entire UFC first-round knockout, and I couldn't be happier about being wrong with my prediction. What a night of fights, man. UFC 320 delivered in ways we couldn't have even imagined. The worst champion in modern UFC history just got sent back to the prelims where he belongs. Pereira saves the light heavyweight division, saves the pay-per-views, saves everything. We had absolute wars, controversial decisions, and my favorite fighter in the sport proving once again why he's built different. Let's break down this insane card from top to bottom. Main event, Pereira versus Ankalaev. Let me start with the fight that matters most. Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev for the light heavyweight title. And holy Pereira delivers. First round knockout, left hook from hell, and Ankalaev is done. I'll be honest with you guys, I picked Ankalaev to win this fight. I thought his wrestling would be too much again. I thought he'd grind out another boring decision, and I'm 100% happy that I got that wrong. This is the best possible outcome for the UFC, for the fans, for everyone except those stupid Dagestani fans who thought their boy was invincible. The fight starts, and you can see Ankalaev trying to implement the same game plan from their first fight. He's trying to close distance, trying to get to the fence, but Pereira came prepared this time. His footwork was on point, his distance management was perfect, and he was throwing heat from the jump. About 3 minutes in, Ankalaev shoots for a takedown. Pereira stuffs it beautifully, and as Ankalaev is getting back up, boom, the left hook sends him to the shadow realm. Ankalaev was out cold for like 2 minutes, man. They had to stretcher him out. And look, I don't wish injury on anyone, but this couldn't have gone better for the UFC. We went from having the most boring, unmarketable champion in modern history to having our human highlight reel back on top. Pereira is must-see TV. Every time he fights, someone gets sleepy. That's what we want to see. And can we talk about the post-fight? Pereira gets on the mic and calls out John Jones at heavyweight. He said, "John, you've been hiding long enough. I'll come up to heavyweight and show you what real power looks like." The ball's on this guy. He just won the light heavyweight title back, and he's already hunting for bigger prey. This is why Pereira is a superstar and Ankalaev could never be. Ankalaev would have given us some boring speech about respect and hard work. Pereira gives us violence and call-outs. That's what sells pay-per-views. Then we had Jiri Prochazka versus Khalil Roundtree, and this fight was literally everything it lived up to. Jiri gets the KO in the third round, but man, what a war this was. It's fights like this that make me love this sport. For the first 2 rounds, I'm not gonna lie, I was worried about my boy. Jiri looked awkward, he looked jittery, something was definitely up with his leg. Khalil was piecing him up, landing clean shots. And Jiri was doing that thing where he blocks punches with his forehead. Classic Jiri, you know? He's eating shots that would put normal humans in the hospital. Round 2. Khalil is winning clearly. He's landing combinations, he's moving well, and Jiri looks like he's drowning out there. But then round 3 starts, and Jiri being Jiri, he just decides he wants to win. That's it. Just decide it's time. He starts walking Khalil down, throwing absolute bombs, and once Khalil took that first big shot, you could see it in his eyes. He was done. The finishing sequence was brutal. Jiri lands a right hand that stumbles Khalil, follows up with a left hook, and then just unloads until Khalil is face first on the canvas. Flatlined him, bro. Translated him back to round 4 of the Pereira fight. Jiri has to be my favorite fighter in this sport. He's only lost twice in the UFC, both times to Alex Pereira. Every other fight, finish. He's knocked out Volkan, Dominic Reyes, now Khalil. He knocked out Jamahal Hill. The guy trains like Tony Ferguson, does all this weird spiritual blocks shots with his face, and then just finds a way to win. Pure warrior spirit, man. You can't not love this guy. The problem now is, what do you do with him? Jiri versus Alex 3 is hard to sell since Alex beat him twice already. Maybe you have the winner fight someone else first, then come back to Jiri. I don't know, but I'm just happy my boy got the win. That's why he's my favorite. He takes a beating, looks like he's losing, then just says F it and knocks you out. Absolute dog. Moving on to the bantamweight title fight. Merab versus Corey Sandhagen. And exactly what everyone expected happened. Merab drowned him. 5 rounds of complete domination. This wasn't even competitive, to be honest. Merab took Corey down 11 times. 11! Corey's a great fighter, don't get me wrong, but Merab is on another level right now. He's collected this entire division like they're infinity stones or some. Beat Sterling, beat Sachudu, beat Yan, and now Sandhagen. Who's left? The fight was exactly what you'd expect from Merab. Constant pressure, constant takedowns, never letting Corey breathe. Corey had some moments in round 3 where he landed a nice knee and some good strikes, but it didn't matter. Merab just kept coming forward like the Terminator. By round 5, Corey looked defeated. He knew he couldn't stop the takedowns, couldn't match the pace. I'll be real, this wasn't the most exciting fight to watch. But you have to respect what Merab's doing. He's making elite fighters look like amateurs. The bantamweight division is stacked with killers, and he's running through all of them. At this point, I think we need to start talking about Merab as the bantamweight GOAT. I know that's controversial, but who else has beaten this level of competition this dominantly? The only interesting fight left for him is maybe the winner of Merab O'Malley 2, if they run that back, or bring up someone from flyweight. But right now, Merab owns this division, and it's not even close. Patchy Mix disappointment. Now let's talk about the biggest disappointment of the night, Patchy Mix.
I belong in the UFC, you know?
This guy was supposed to be the next big thing, the future of the bantamweight division. And once again, he came up short, this time against Jakub Wicklacz. I don't know what's going on with Patchy. He came into the UFC with all this hype, everyone calling him the Bellator king who dominate the roster, and yet he's now 0-2. Against Wicklacz, he just didn't look like himself. Slow, hesitant, and lost in the grappling exchanges. His control time meant nothing because he couldn't land real damage or threaten submissions, while Wicklacz kept landing sharp elbows and kicks from awkward angles. This fight showed the harsh truth. UFC competition is a different beast. Wicklacz was making his debut, but he looked like the veteran in there.
I'm surprised to see Patchy completely flat here.
He outworked Patchy, stayed composed, and walked away with a split decision win, while Mix looked frustrated and out of ideas. Honestly, after 2 performances like this, I wouldn't be surprised if the UFC cuts him. I know that sounds harsh, but they brought him in to be a star, and he's been anything but. Maybe send him back to the regional scene, let him get some confidence back, because right now, he doesn't belong in the UFC. What a waste of potential.
Watch when you see Patchy's eye, man. That right eye has a lot of swelling.
By split decision, Jakub Wicklacz.
Women's fight, brief coverage. We also had Raquel Pennington defending her bantamweight title against Juliana Pena, and classic women's MMA, honestly.
48-47 for the winner by split decision.
Pena won by split decision to reclaim the title in a fight that was close, but far from exciting. Look, I respect both of them as fighters, but this one was a grind. Most of the action came in the clinch, with a lot of cage control, knees, and short punches that didn't do much visible damage. Pennington started strong with her jab and inside leg kicks, but Pena's relentless pressure and grappling edge turned things around in the later rounds. The judges had it split, giving the Venezuelan Vixen the win and the Women's Bantamweight Championship once again. It's another reminder that this division still lacks real excitement since Amanda Nunes retired. Pena's back on top, Pennington falls short again, and the bantamweight picture remains as uncertain as ever.
I got dropped, I'm not sure what it was, but definitely like you unfocus for a second and it only takes 1 second to get dropped, so definitely need to be a little bit more focused next time.
Prelim highlights. The prelims actually delivered some bangers. We started off with Carlos Ulberg knocking out Volkan Ozdemir in the first round. A beautiful left hook counter dropped Volkan, and Ulberg followed up with ground and pound until the ref stopped it. Good win for Ulberg, he's been on a tear lately. Volkan needs to hang it up, honestly. That's 4 losses in his last 5, all by knockout. Your chin is gone, bro. Retire. Then we had an absolute war between Matt Schnell and Cody Durden at flyweight. Back and forth for 3 rounds, both guys hurt multiple times. Durden ended up winning by split decision.
Cody, custom-made Durden!
But this was fight of the night for me. Pure violence for 15 minutes. Both guys earned their money tonight. The prelim main event was Brendan Allen versus Chris Curtis, and Allen got the submission in round 3. Rear naked choke, Curtis went out. Allen called out Adesanya after, which is hilarious. Bro, you just beat Chris Curtis. You're not getting Izzy. Know your place. Nothing like a sick card to start off with some early finishes to get the crowd going. The prelim set the tone for what was an incredible night of fights. Controversial decisions and judging. We need to talk about some of the controversial decisions tonight. Besides the women's title fight, we had two other splits that had people heated. First, the Josh Emmett versus Youssef Zalal fight. Zalal won by split decision, and honestly, that was a robbery. Emmett clearly won rounds 1 and 2, and probably round 3 too. I don't know what fight the judges were watching. Emmett landed the harder shots, had Zalal hurt multiple times, and was the aggressor. But two judges gave it to Zalal because he threw more volume, even though most of his shots were hitting arms and shoulders. This is the problem with MMA judging. They see quantity over quality. Then we had Abus Magomedov versus Joe Pyfer, which Pyfer won by split decision. This one I can understand being close, but I had Pyfer winning clearly. He dropped Magomedov in round 2, had him hurt bad, and was landing the bigger shots all fight. Magomedov had some good wrestling moments, but didn't do anything with the takedowns. One judge scoring it for Magomedov is whatever, but it shouldn't have been split. These judges need to be held accountable, man. Every card we have, at least one terrible decision. It's ruining fighters' careers. Emmett probably needed that win to keep his ranking, and now he's going to drop out of the top 15 because of incompetent judging. What's next? Future implications. So where do we go from here? Let's break down what's next for the main players from tonight. Alex Pereira. He's calling out John Jones, but let's be real. That fight's not happening anytime soon. Jones is tied up with the Tom Aspinall situation, and Dana's not going to let Pereira jump the line. What probably happens is Pereira fights the winner of Jamahal Hill versus Magomed Ankalaev too. Yeah, they'll probably run Ankalaev back because he's still ranked high, and there aren't many other contenders. Or maybe they do Pereira versus Jan Blachowicz for the old man belt. Either way, Pereira's going to be defending against someone in the next 4 months. Jiri Prochazka. Like I said earlier, it's hard to make a trilogy with Alex right now. Maybe they match him up with Jamahal Hill. That's a banger. Or the loser of whatever Alex's next defense is. Jiri's in a weird spot where he's clearly elite, but has lost to the champ twice. Merab Dvalishvili, he's running out of opponents. Maybe they bring up Alexandra Pantoja from flyweight for a super fight? Or do they wait for Sean O'Malley to get another win and run that back? The problem is Merab's beaten everyone already. He might be the most dominant champion in the UFC right now, and nobody talks about it. Ankalaev, back to the prelims. Nah, I'm joking. But seriously, he needs to go back to the drawing board. His whole thing was that he could beat strikers with his wrestling, and he just got knocked out in round 1. Maybe match him up with someone like Anthony Smith or Johnny Walker, let him rebuild. But his title aspirations are done for at least a year. The UFC won this weekend big time. They got their exciting champion back, they had multiple finishes, and they set up some interesting fights going forward. This is what we want to see. Man, what a night of fights. This is why I love this sport. You think you know what's going to happen, and then everything gets flipped on its head. I thought Ankalaev would wrestle his way to another boring decision, and instead, we got Pereira saving the UFC with a first-round knockout. I thought Patchy Mix would finally show why he was so hyped, and he got slept. I thought my boy Jiri might be in trouble, and he proved once again why he's my favorite fighter in the sport. UFC 320 delivered everything we could ask for. Knockouts, submissions, wars, controversy, and most importantly, the right guy won the main event. No disrespect to Ankalaev as a fighter, but Pereira as champion is better for everyone. He's exciting, he's dangerous, and every fight could end with someone getting flatlined. Before I go, let me just say, if you're not watching these cards live, you're missing out. There's nothing like experiencing these moments as they happen. The energy, the surprises, the holy fuck moments. This is what MMA is all about. What did you think of the card? Are you happy Pereira got his belt back? Do you think Jiri deserves another title shot? Was Emmett robbed? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We're here every week, breaking down all the fights, all the drama, all the knockouts. Next week, we're previewing UFC 321 with Tom Aspinall defending against Cyril Gane, and that's going to be another banger. Until then, keep training, keep watching, and remember, this is the best sport in the world. Peace out.